Hi, this is Jeff Woodman from Studio Cycles and StudioCycles.com, and in this short YouTube video I want to talk about indoor cycling and major weight loss. I have been involved with indoor cycling for 20 years, roughly 20 years, for as long as indoor cycling has been around. I have spent the majority of my life involved with athletics and professional cycling, and the last 15 to 20 years in indoor cycling and cycling. I have the only two indoor cycling specific retail stores in the world. I am the exception to the rule when it comes to indoor cycles. Most places you buy your bikes from, they process your credit card and they send you a bike box, and you put the bike together like a table from IKEA. Now, what we do differently is we actually take the bike out of the box and we do a pro build on the bike. We actually tear the bike apart, and then we fully assemble the bike. We do a drivetrain treatment. We extend the warranty for life on most every bike we sell, and I make myself personally available to consumers and commercial customers for consultations based on my experience and my expertise. And I have fairly extensive experience with people who are looking to lose a major amount of weight, and I can tell you that the number one rule, and hear me when I tell you this, is to, if you're carrying an excessive amount of weight, be sure and consult with a doctor or your personal physician before you start any type of program where you're going to lose a substantial amount of weight. That is key. I've seen plenty of people, they have sort of a psychic change, and they decide one day that they're going to spend a major amount of time and effort and dedication to turning their lives around and losing major amounts of weight. And again, I think the most important part of that is to consult with a doctor or your personal physician about a plan. I think what's important is to start off slow, be dedicated. I think what's important is to change your diet. I've seen people, and I've had personal experience with people who've lost 50, 100, 150 pounds or more with indoor cycling and spinning, and it's a tough road. If it was easy, we wouldn't have such a high level of obesity in this country, but I can tell you that I've seen it. I know that it's highly possible, and it takes a huge amount of determination and dedication. I don't know that, in fact, it's pretty safe to say that most people who are carrying a major amount of weight will not end up on The Biggest Loser and have celebrities yelling at them and cameras following them around. It's a personal battle. It's a personal challenge. But I know with indoor cycling, it really is one of the fastest tracks I've seen. And I think it's one of the things to consider because, number one, when you're packing a lot of extra pounds around and you start to exercise, there are certain types of exercise, like number one, running. I think running is one of the worst things that an overweight person can do because there's so much downward force on the hip flexors and the knees and the ankles, where fluid movement is key. I think it's the thing that fires the metabolism the most, or one of the things that fires the metabolism the most. I think some things that I've seen people do and I've suggested that seem very helpful on this type of a journey is to keep a journal, to write about your journey and your experiences and your feelings, and also have a chart on the wall and weigh yourself at least once a week and put a date and your current weight on that date so that you can track your weight and what you're doing, if what you're doing is progressive or if it's in fact not effective. Certainly goes without saying, hand-in-hand diet and exercise. If you have the money to employ or enlist a dietitian, I think that's huge. But if you like music and you like rhythm, indoor cycling is one of those things that can become really, really fun. I've seen people who weren't carrying a lot of extra weight around, who were just slow and sluggish and didn't have a high energy level engaged in indoor cycling. They implemented it into their life. It became sort of a lifestyle to them, and it changed their life. When you go from being unfit to being fit, it's a life-changing experience, and it's one of those things that permeates all areas of your life. How you feel, how you sleep, eventually what you're able to eat, and your respect for food and exercise. And there's no downside to going from being unfit to being fit. There's just no downside. And again, I'll say this, consult with a doctor or a physician. I think getting the right bike is important. Not buying a used, beat-up bike from a used fitness equipment company where they take your money and that's it. The relationship is over. They have your money. You have their worn-out bike. I think a heart rate monitor is absolutely key. I don't think if you're unfit or if you're carrying a lot of weight and you begin a fitness program, you should do it without a heart rate monitor, because when your heart stops or if you die, then the journey's over. There's no way to back up from being dead. And it's no fun trying to get fit and dying, obviously. That probably sounds stupid, but moderation and cultivating a level of self-discipline as you go on this journey to go from one point to another is huge. The standard weight range for these bikes is generally in the 300-pound range. That's the weight limit. Most companies, particularly the companies that I deal with, Consumer Product Safety Commission guidelines, from my understanding, is the bike has to be tested 100 pounds past the recorded weight limit. With that being said, if their recorded weight limit is 300, they typically have to test to 400 pounds. We do have a couple of models that have a 350-pound weight range. I'm available to consult on bicycles. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a personal trainer. But my direct telephone number is home office. Toll-free is 888-909-BIKE. Office is my cell phone is 818-470-2204, and my home office number is 310-664-1375. I'm available from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week. If you're in the Los Angeles area, you can call me, and I will do whatever I can to educate you on making the right choice. And as you can see from our warehouse, we have lots of bikes. This is what we do. We have a lot of bikes. We have custom bikes. We have pink, white, red, black. We have standard colors. This is what we do. I'm Jeff Wimmer from Studio Cycles. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this video. And if I'm not able to talk to you and you do go on this journey, best of luck to you, and God bless. Thanks.